is good, my people? Welcome back. This is Alfy here. Thank you so much. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for keeping up with the consistency, love, and support. Thank you so much. I highly appreciate it. And if you are new in the house, thank you also so much for clicking on my video. And I would like to invite you to also be part of the family by simply clicking on the subscribe button below and also sharing this content on your socials and leaving a thumbs up on this video if you like it, and also share it on your socials with friends and recommend somebody to come and watch my videos, and let's be a family. So I will highly appreciate it. So today is going to be a very different video, and I'm going to address something that is so personal, something that has happened a way back, but like it just introduced me to life in different perspectives, and today I'm gonna address it. And I know, for instance, maybe people that were with me, especially in high school and also in secondary school, they also have witnessed this, and I believe you didn't really understand what was going on. And some of you, maybe like, you were asking questions, and I understand even our ages then, you were not really like that mature, I would say, but I'm saying it coming out from a heart of respect and also like of humbleness. It's not like I'm saying you were stupid, no, that's not what I mean, but I just referring to the level of maturity. Of course, somebody in secondary school and high school, really, they're not adults, so sometimes we just tend to ask when you see something that you are like kind of curious about. You just go ahead and ask, or you just want to understand what is going on. So actually, I'm going to talk about my most traumatizing experiences in life that I've experienced and I've overcome. And I would say this the most major one, which has lasted like for a long time. And the last one, which I'm going to also address last, it's actually just happened the last days or at last minute. So I'm just going to dive into it. So actually, this started in grade 10. It had happened while I was preparing for my grade 10 examinations. So because usually when the exams are about to start, like, we gather in groups, like with friends at school. So we put ourselves in study groups. So we were like ready, we were excited, everybody was like, yo, finally, we guys been looking forward to being grade 10 and so forth, and like to go to grade 11 and 12, so it's gonna be a different lifestyle. So, and we were such energetic, we were so vibrant and excited, because we know, guys, like, to be honest, that time when we were in school, like, we were like the smart students. Like, honestly, I'm not even bragging. Like, we were those people that are like so in our books. Like, everybody wants just to shine. So, and I remember even like we would be like in our classes, and me and my group of my friends would be like telling each other, say, everybody's just saying, for me, I know already I passed, you guys. I don't know how about you. So if you are going to fail, then that's what you choose. And obviously, hearing your friends or your fellow learners saying that, so, and you're like, yo, so people already even have their minds made up that it's a pass, there's no other way around. So, and I also have just to encourage myself and know that, you know what, I also have to be responsible and like really study hard. So we prepared early, we were like preparing early, like I've said. That was firstly for grade 10 examinations. So I just started experiencing really something weird. I couldn't understand what was going on with my body. And it really has affected also my studies, but I'm grateful to God because of who I was. Like I said, I still managed to pass my grade 10. So what happened is that I just started feeling weakness in my body. Like, I was just kind of weak. So I would come from school and I don't even have like, as long as my heart desires to study, the body is unable to sit down and study and do like the normal thing I was supposed to do. So, and the exams were now like approaching. Like, this happened earlier, maybe like I would say 2 weeks before the exams, you guys. So I was just started getting sick, getting sick, getting sick. I didn't understand what is going on, and I told my parents about it, and also my teachers also get to know about it, like how sick I was, like seriously getting sick. And they were like advising me, maybe we are going to waste the money. How about you just wait, and maybe like repeat grade 10, because you might just take this chance and you are going to fail. And I told them, you guys, trust me, I got this. No matter how I'm going through, or like the level of my health right now, I believe I had prepared already prior to this. So just allow me, give me this chance. I know, I believe in myself, and I believe mostly in God. I'm gonna make it. So just trust me. So they were like not really convinced, and there were still debates as to say, is he really gonna make it? So, and yeah, so we came to an agreement. So people agreed that I can go for examination. So people really like trusted me also due to my performances like in school. So they trusted me, and they decided, okay, flies are disturbing me, man. So people agreed that I can go ahead and take my examination. So, and really, in the midst of the exams, this situation was really getting worse and worse. So I remember, especially for one subject that I even loved back then, that was history. Like, I remember in grade 9, I scored an A in history, like, and people were like, nobody ever scored an A in history. Like, how did you do it? Like, it's because, like, that already just defines, like I always tell you that, guys, I'm a person that likes stories. I like conversations. That's just basically me. And I believe, I remember I had a friend, Henry Namgalele, shout out to you, bro, if you're watching this. He also used to like history. Like, we used to call ourselves the journalists. So we were like, yeah, we're gonna finish school and we're gonna be the journalists, you know. Like, we were so excited we are going to be the journalists. So, and we knew that we really had to take history so serious. So honestly, that's what went down. So I wrote my exams, you guys, going out through all this, man. Like, it was really terrible. Imagine I'm going in the exams with an extra rag in my hand. I'm just sneezing, I'm just weak, my temperature is high there, I've got a headache, I just don't know what's going on. I couldn't understand, man. And imagine I was 17, I believe. 17, 16, 17 in grade 10. Your boy was going through the most, but regardless, my God has came through, man. Like, I made it. So I managed to finish all my examinations, even if I didn't really like study to an extent of where I wanted like to ace it. Like, I wanted like at least to be like really give some great and wonderful points that really represent my real work and efforts that I put in. But regardless, I'm still grateful for what had happened, because my points still have allowed me, not only allowed me to pass, but they also allowed me to go to further to a different school, which I wanted. And we have to battle out a chance to go to the next school that we had to go through points, because like at that school we were told that they don't like take average learners. So so you really gotta show that you've got something for them to be convinced that they can admit you in their school. So regardless, I managed to pass my grade 10. And after I wrote my grade 10 exams, I remember, um, just to go back a little bit, when I was doing my grade 10 exams, I was staying somewhere close to the school. I was staying in my uncle's house. So, and immediately after I was done with my exams, I had to go back home, to stay with my grandmother. I have said, you guys, I told you already that I was raised up by my grandmother, so I grew up with my grandmother. So she's the one that raised me. So I went back to my grandmother, and I believe that time we were only like me and my grandmother, I believe, in the house. We were like just the two of us. Or was my cousin that time there? Like, my little cousin also came. I think we were three, if not two, but she was like the little one in the house. So when I went now back home to my grandmother, I'll always be sleeping. I'll always be sleeping day in, day out. And at that time now, I think I was 17. I'd like to believe that I was 17 in grade 10. So I was 17, like I was like now a teenager, and maybe people didn't really understood. Maybe they were thinking maybe this boy did his stuff, and all of a sudden, honestly, maybe they were thinking, he got infected or what was going on. But even myself, I was really worried, but I was not now worried to say that I was maybe infected because, I was a good boy, man. Like, I wasn't in those things. Like, I know myself, like, and honestly, I'm so proud to say that time of grade 10 until my grade 12, like, we were like those people that decided to be like this, to be unwise. Because I remember my friend Jessica telling me that, boy, if you want to do like better in school, be stupid, because when you get wiser, you end up mixing things, and you're not gonna like the results. And really, I stick to those advices, and even of my teachers. So I trust it now. I already understand and know at the back of my mind. As long as I don't really understand what is going on in my body, but I know it's not like through that angle, if you know what I mean. So one day, it was in the afternoon, I was sleeping in my mom's room. Like, I preferred to go sleep in my mom's room because it was like a little bit colder. So I used to open my mom's rooms and go sleep in her room. So, and my grandmother was in the sitting room. Um, so by that time, I was like coughing. There was this huge cough. So then this whole time, like, I feel like I could just smell blood, and like I was just coughing, and I was just like spitting on the side, spitting on the side, spitting on the side while I was lying on the bed. I was not even like observing what was I was spitting on, but I was just like kind of smelling blood. So when I woke up, it was just bloody where I was spitting, and I was like, what is this? So this whole time I've been spitting out, I'm just spitting out blood. So I called my grandmother. So I called my grandmother and I told my grandmom, I said, Granny, come check what was happening or what is happening with me. So I've been spitting out, like coughing and spitting out, and then I come, it's only blood that is coming out. So there's now when also like my grandmother started to be really worried. And mind you, I was stubborn, and I'm not proud of saying that, but I should really like tell my truth as to why did it lead to such a long time and I was not taken to the hospital. So I was really stubborn. I was stubborn. Like my grandmother would always say, "No, let's take you to the hospital." And I'll be like, "No, don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine." Like I was that kind of person. So one day, what happened? I think it's the following day exactly. What had happened to the following day, like I said, I usually sleep in my room, like in the night time. I only sleep in my mom's room in the daytime, because when it gets hot in the village, so my mom's room gets a little bit colder. So that's why I prefer to go sleep in my mom's room. So but in the night I went back to our room, so that's where I used to sleep. So, and like I used to lock myself in the room. Like in the night, I lock the room when I sleep. So it ended up like when my granny came to greet me in the morning. So I could hear her greeting me, but I cannot respond. Like I feel like I'm responding, but she cannot hear what I was saying. So I was sick that I was helpless. I couldn't even speak louder to be heard. Neither I was able to stand up and come and unlock that room. Guess what happened? People had to break the door of our room so to come and get me and fetch me, and I was rushed to the hospital. I was rushed to the hospital, you guys. Yo, that time, like, I was really in pain. I was in pain, and what I was, yeah. So, like I said, like, I felt like, man, like, something was inside just like pinching me, like pinching me inside there. If I just move my body a little bit, move on the other side, like I just wanted like to be like in a relaxed position. Like I didn't want it to move my body, because the moment I move, like this chest pain, like I could feel my lungs, and like everything. So sorry, my device ran out of space, so I was just making some adjustments. So like I said, I ended up where I was explaining like what or how I was really feeling like on the inside. So the day I ended up being rushed to the hospital. One of my cousin, I believe like my elder cousin, he owned a car, and but he usually used to sleep at his place like very far from home or from village. So he was called and he rushed home and he came to fetch me so I could be rushed to the hospital. So when I was taken to Angela State Hospital, so those are from the village or maybe that side of Anguena, they understand where or they know where is Angela State Hospital. So I was taken to Angela State Hospital, and I was admitted like I would say just in a general wards like with other sick people, like elder people. So I went there like, and there was like these people really sick lying on their beds with elder people. I believe, I remember very well there was like this old man, like he was of my tongue, he was of my vernacular, and there was like other I don't know. I don't want to say the word. Yeah, maybe it would end up offensive, but like they are like namas. I believe they were namas. Or yeah, namas. Because I don't believe in the North we have damaras. I think it's namas. So those like they were also like they because those there's such a tribe in the Enana community. Those people are also at that side in the north. So a lot of things will be happening, especially at night. Imagine like me at the age of 17, and I would like experience or I would see somebody maybe sitting next to you, and all of a sudden in the night the person passes on, and you would see their family members coming in and crying, and you would see how the person is taken out, like it was playing with my mind. I've never seen such things, and like, man, it was not easy, but like that was the situation I had to go through that time at my age. So I think I remember very well that was in, I believe, November, maybe November to what December, because I remember very well that I left Angela Hospital. It was in December, the 23rd of December. That particular year, which year was it now? I'm not even gonna now give a lot of details, because you would now go there and calculate and find out how old is the boy now, because he said in grade 10, if I give a year, he was 17 and all this kind of stuff. So, God, I catch you guys. I was not gonna do that, so it's okay. So I was 17 by the time, so, and I was like observing that, watching that, like I've said. So, and I remember maybe after a month or something, because I believe I went there in November. After a month or maybe weeks, one day a nurse just came in our room and told me, no, and actually before that, so like I was like at the hospital, I was with my uncle's wife. That was like, no, yeah, my uncle's wife. So she was the one that is taking care of me. Like she would come and check over me and whatever and doing all this stuff. So I'm really grateful for you, Mekulu. Wakitofa, I'm really grateful for what you have done. I'm really grateful for what you have done. So Mekurufura, if you would maybe one day see this or your kids brought you this video. So I just want to say, Kucha, on the Kupandura, on the appreciate you've been with me and you've taken good care of me. So honestly, I will never forget about that you did for me. I'm grateful. So my granny, which is now my uncle's wife, not now my granny that I left home. So the granny that I'm gonna refer to now is now my uncle's wife, who was taking care of me at the hospital. So my granny told me one day, I think I just woke up and she came to me, because she usually had to stay in a different place. She cannot like stay in a room where I used to. We all know already like the situation at school, hospital. when you are like taking care of somebody that is not feeling well. So you obviously stay outside and you're only given some hours where you can come in and visit. So she told me, no, the nurses were here while you were sleeping. So they told me, you have to go and they have to go take sample of blood, so what urine, all those kind of stuff. Like a whole of tests have to be done on me. So, and like I said, I was just stubborn. I wouldn't say really it was fear. So I was just saying, no, they're not gonna take my blood and test me and whatever. Like, and she sat me down and schooled me down. She actually took me to the toilet, and like she gave me such a lecturer lesson that really also moved me. And I said, yeah, but it's true, let me just allow this to happen. So my blood was taken, I gave in urine, I gave in spit, because I was also coughing and like all those stuff. And I believe after 2 days when those things were done, so I remember nurses coming to my room one day. It was like late, I think it was around I would say 8 maybe in the evening, going to 9. So they came in my room and they came with my granny and they said, no, we are packing up my stuff, so I have to be transferred to a different room. I didn't understand why, so they just told me that I was going to be transferred to a different room. So I was transferred to a different room. So when I went there, I remember, my goodness, I remember that day, I think the sun was about to set. It was like sun setting, you guys. And when I went to this now new ward, I I believe they still, yeah, they didn't need blood from me, but actually they were inserting like something here, something here. If you have ever been to hospitals, maybe yourself or you have seen somebody, there are sometimes when patients they would put something like a syringe or something here. So that thing they have to let the story continue, guys. So I ended up where I was explaining like about the thing that put me here. So like apparently now they were looking out for veins, and it was like in the nighttime the sun was setting, and they were come out looking for veins like on my arms, like on my arm. And guess who was doing that? The sun setting. It was an albino nurse. Did I not suffer that whole evening? Did I not suffer that whole evening? My friend, that man, I I think for one very good hour forgot that I was human, that this was not a dead person, it was a very alive person who got feelings. And hey, that guy was just like poto, 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 to an extent that I got stressed and I was not even feeling the pain anymore. Like I just gave myself onto this nurse, which seriously, let him do whatever he's looking for. Like, how can you? Yeah, it was the most painful thing. And I think that man was the reason why, until these days, we are not good friends with needles, girl. When it comes to injections, those kind of stuff, we ain't friends. We are not in the same WhatsApp group, like honestly. So fast forward, got admitted in that now new ward that I was taken to. So and then the following day, it's when they set me down and explained why I have to be relocated from the previous room to this one. So it's when they told me, so the reason why we brought you to this ward, this is called a TB ward. So we have found out that this whole time you are battling TB. So you were not just sick. Maybe now we have found what was really like wrong with you. So you are battling TB. And I also got to learn that TB. So I was told that the reason why I had to be transferred from one place to the other is because I was now battling TB. So the reason or the sickness was found. So it isn't really made a difference like in my mind. So all I knew that I was in pain. Whenever the disease was, or whatever the situation is, I was still in pain. So it really didn't like shake my mind or whatever. Like I just said, okay, so, and they're like, no, you have to go to counseling and whatever. I went throughout the counseling process. Like until today, I cannot even remember what was said at counseling. Like I was there in pain and I was not even paying attention. So I remember very well, like, and I was praying that I don't want to be in the hospital in Christmas. So, and the day started approaching to Christmas, and that was now December, right? And it ended up that I remember very well I was released on the 23rd of December. So, because I remember very well that when I went back home, so the following day was already like Christmas Eve and now Christmas. So, and I don't know if it's now later in December or is it in early January. I honestly like can't remember now this time around when exactly does the grade 10 results comes out. But at that time my mom now, my biological mom now, because my mom used to stay in Arandis, so she resided in Arandis the time. So now she came, of course, obviously, to the north for Christmas, right? So I remember her coming to my room and just crying, and she sat next to me, and she said, "You made it. You made it through." And I was like, "No, I'm still sick, mom. It's like it's still a long way to go. Like I'm still sick." And she said, "No, what I mean is that you have passed your grade 10." Wow, like when my mom said that, like I was so thankful to me. Like in that moment, I thanked me first. Like I said, "Wow, man, like I went through this and I really managed to." And like for me to go through that, I have started in pain and to still pass with 30 plus points in grade 10, like I was like, wow, I'm grateful. Because like in my mind, I was like, even if it's just a 25, which was the requirement, so I'm good. I'll be like appreciated, like on to the next. So that was in my mind. But your boy gives some really great points, regardless the sickness. So we shall continue. Guess what? So I was like a bit recovering, like I've said, I was now released from the hospital. I was like kind of recovering, and obviously, this camera, like I just feel like it's about to betray me again. So, and obviously, the following year I had to go for grade 11. So I ended up not, so I went to start school in grade 11. So, and again, when I went to school, the situation has again started worsening up. And one day I just got cold. So, okay, we shall continue. It's a story time, right? So it's gonna really take a long time. So after now, when I went to start with my grade 11, you guys, maybe I only went to school for 1 or 2 weeks, I believe. And I remember, so I was called and I still had to be admitted in the hospital again. And this time it was now in a nana because like I school, and the story goes on again. So guys, it's the camera that is like really just betraying me and like acting up on me. So okay, let's go ahead. So in grade 11, so what happened is that I only went to school for 1 or 2 weeks of my, when that time when I was in grade 11. So I still had to be admitted in the hospital, and this time around it was now in a Nana State Hospital because I schooled in a school in a Nana. So I schooled in a Nana. So after grade 10, I moved to a different school, and that school, it was now in a Nana. So obviously, when I was sick in school, so I was only had to be taken like to a nearby hospital. So obviously, it made sense for them to take me to a Nana and not maybe back to Angela where I was already prior coming to and then now coming to grade 11. So what had happened is that I find myself like for the whole of my first term in grade 11, which I was supposed to be in school, while other learners were at school being taught each and every day, your boy was missing out. I was in the hospital. Like the situation, it was really that serious. And this time around, like well, one of my side, it was like kind of deforming. So that's me again trying to fix my camera. So I was deformed, you guys. I was deformed. So like I used to walk very funny, okay? And like being in high school, some who didn't understand and yet really just so irresponsible of laughing at what you don't understand. Some they were questioning or some they would stare at me when I was walking. So as much as I really wanted to be like in school, the time I was in hospital, the other side I also like felt like I just feel like also like a better place for me. Like I'm just relaxing and I don't have random people that don't know me just staring at me. I don't know what do they think is wrong with me, like whatever. So that's basically what happened. So I stayed in hospital for the whole of my first term, which is now 4 months to be exact. It has to be 4 months, 4 months because I remember very well the day I was now released from the hospital. It also happened to be the same day that the schools were closing off. I believe, if I remember very well, it was on a Friday. It was on a Friday. So and this is now when the second story, like the second traumatizing thing, it's now gonna come in the story. Like I've said, like it's exactly like two things which had happened, but this one it just happened in a day. So usually when the doctor comes to visit, the doctor, I think he usually comes on Saturdays, I believe. But I knew it was like once in a week. And when maybe he sees that somebody have like progressed, and he will release those people. So I'll always cry like in front of the doctor and I said, please release me because I wanted to go back to school. So so it was so funny that now finally the day which he released me, I don't know what was happening, so I didn't want it to go. Yeah, but this whole time I was crying like I want to go. But this day when I was told you can now pick up and leave, I didn't want it to go. I was talking about the day now I got released from the hospital. So I remember that day like something at the back of my mind. It was just not really like going well. I don't know what was it. I couldn't even like really tell it unless now whatever had happened is when I understood. So I just remember the day after and I was told that I can go. I called my cousin and I called back home and I packed up my stuff and I left my bags on that hospital bed. And I usually like each and every day go out and buy newspapers. I would always buy the Namibian and the Namibian Sun. So like it's either on one shop that was so close by or either Spa, because Spa was also close by. So I did the same thing. So and I think it was going to what 5, but I was released at 10 in the morning. So it was now going towards 5 p.m. So it's when I decided, okay, let me go home. So actually, my cousin asked me, are you going to the village or you want to stay with me in town? And I said, no, I've been here like for a long time, so I want to go to the village. So he said, no, just wait for me, I'll come and take you home. So then he came back and then he said, I believe while he was like driving out, and then he got a call from work and he's like, no, just take the money and go home. So I have to go and attend this business related stuff. So he had to go back. So I had a phone. I had a phone like, and like I just observed today when I was making a thumbnail, I recognized that most of my pictures, especially when I'm trying to like find pictures like for thumbnails or whatever, like I have headsets in. So guys, like when I say that me, I'm a person of music, like I just growing up listening to music and radio the whole time, like I was that extremely a loner person. So I am addicted to solitude. Like I enjoy my space. That was just me. That's who I am. So I remember when I hopped in that taxi, I had my newspapers like on my laps, and I had my headset in and my phone still also like somewhere here on my laps as well. So I was now listening to music and I was going through my newspapers that I bought. So I was like sitting in front with a taxi driver, and like there was three people behind, two ladies and a guy in between them. So apparently the same day we were traveling, I told you like it was the day also the school closed, and it was a Friday, and also happened to be like it was also like a pensioners day. So okay, I just figured that there will be a part 2 of this video simply because the very first video that I've made, it was really long, so it will only make sense if I make a second video for part 2, so at least just to avoid the video to be very long. So there will be a part 2. So after watching this, please kindly go and watch the second part of the video, where I'm going to talk about the second experience that have happened after the very first one that I've tackled so far. So hop on to the next, you guys. I hope you're gonna make it to the second one. So see you there. Thank you so much.